the business parks you probably know of is Dubai Internet City, Dubai Media City, Dubai International Academic City, Dubai Design District. And the point is to zone these sectors and focus and keep all the companies. And we have most of the top companies like Cisco, Microsoft, all house in Dubai Internet City. And then you have Dubai Media City, who has all the CNNs, the Reuters, and the media companies. So N5 is an initiative that comes under it. Now going back to the question is the role of N5 is we've seen the rise of the tech companies that came through like Souq, Anghami, Kareem, all of them come through Dubai Internet City. And our management wanted to support and foster all these entrepreneurs to come in. So that's why N5 was launched to support all these like-minded people, innovators, not to sit somewhere isolated, but put them under one roof, and then they start exchanging ideas. And then, from there, starting with real estate, putting something under their roof and supporting them with license, supporting them with all this stuff, we developed, investors started to come in and say that, oh, we want to invest in these startups that you have. And then and support them. And that's how we kept on growing.
Dr. Heba, as I know that you are Deputy Manager of the Innovation Center or Incubator in the Arab Academy of Science and Technology and Marine Transportation. So you are in the academic side. Why you established this Innovation Center and what its rules to accelerate the innovation coming from academia?
First, I want to start by the Arab Academy. I'm the Deputy Director of the Entrepreneurship Center at the Arab Academy for Science, Technology, and Maritime Transport. Our headquarters is in Egypt, and then we have 9 branches in Egypt, and we have a branch here in Sharjah and a branch in Syria. We're mainly focusing on, we have two um, beneficiaries, the students. We focus on university students by different programs to support them on their different levels, starting their ideas. We consider them change makers. We support them to acquire the entrepreneurial mindset, and we support startups on depending on our area of expertise, which is mainly supply chain, tourism, and agribusiness. And now we're expanding in the marine ecosystem, to support startups in the maritime transport sector. When we as university, we use our ecosystem in these fields. We have the academia, the expertise, the connections with the industry in these different fields. That's why we use our ecosystem to support the startups in the different fields, plus the financial support and the training and mentorship, so we can take them from one point to a point further. This is mainly our role as an entrepreneurship center in the university. We started 6 years ago, 2015, and this is our mission. Till now, we have around 3 cohorts from each incubator. Also, we have an incubator focusing on students in general. It supports students on a longer time. It takes around from 12 to 18 months support. Because students have different challenges. They have exams, they have but we support also students on the startup level.
Go to Tunisia. I know that Mr. Hisham, your innovation part is part of the Ministry of Industry. Innovation Park, and what is the role of this park in supporting innovation ecosystem in Tunisia?
Thank you, Mr. Aboud. In Tunisia, in the beginning, the technoparks was developed by the Ministry of High Schools. But after some times, they looked that the high schools develop high schools but not innovation and not a relationship with industry. So that's why they decided to having both high schools and industry, and the two ministers are our follower actually. And we are a public-private partnership. We developed this technopark, which is a technopark. Innovation City is a technopark specialized in mechatronic. And for this technopark ecosystem for between the industry, between the high schools, and between research. So we have an engineer school in the technopark. We have a research center. We have prototyping centers, and we have the incubators, and we have some space to attract multinational companies or national companies for developing in mechatronic. And to do that, we begin with the high schools. In the engineer school, we implement an incubator for students. So the third years, which is the end of the years of the engineer in Tunisia, because they have 5 years, 2 years for preparation and 3 years on engineering school. So the third year is they have to prepare their project end project, and this end project can be to create their startups. And this incubator is to follow these startups and to follow this new generation of students, which we call them entrepreneurship students. And this is the first of our program, but we have a program which name is Innovation Business Acceleration, and it's from the seed, so from the idea to there are three tracts. The first tract is from the idea until to have a prototype. The second is the prototyping had to be solved, and the third one is to have acceleration and finance part.
Get back to Egypt, Engineer Ashraf. As I know, Tisal is an NGO. Why NGOs decided to open incubator, and what is the role of IBNI incubator in Tisal? And do you think you are contributing for the ecosystem of innovation in Egypt?
Good morning, everyone. First of all, to answer your first question about why an NGO have like an incubator like IBNI, okay, and simply we are a leading NGO developing ICT industry in Egypt through providing different services and initiatives to develop ICT companies. Like 6 or 7 years ago, we decided to start our developing or supporting to early stage through providing incubation services and so on to startups, tech startups. And this is why we started our incubator IBNI. To answer your second question, I believe we have to tackle it from another perspective. If we are talking about innovation, we can identify 2 different types of innovation. First of all, demand pooling, and normally this is originated to satisfy your customer needs or the market need. On the other side, there is technology pushing innovation, and normally this is how startups are going to innovate or create a new change, okay, to innovate a new product, to provide new services or so on. Normally, and what we have now is the incubators are not promoting this type of innovation, okay? They are not promoting to help the startups to create new ideas and to create disruptive innovation, okay? And this is an issue, and we need to help our startups to think more and creatively to create new innovation, and this is an issue. Okay.
Thank you. Get back to N5. As we see in the panel, we have incubator from government, another one from NGO, another one inside university. N5, I think, is a business incubator. Why private sector decided to create an incubator, and what is the contribution that you are adding to the economy of United Arab Emirates, and why you are seeing that having an incubator is something mandatory to support the ecosystem?
Yes, so thank you. Great question. So I would say that in our perspective, as a company who's developing all these business parks and expanding, we've seen companies come from across the globe to set up their shop in Dubai, and this is why we saw that we didn't have anything to support the young entrepreneurs who are coming in with new ideas. Some of them actually are coming from, they are actually working professionals. So someone that a working professional who works for Facebook or Microsoft and wants to test an idea, and this was the platform to support them. So, and this is why N5 is created, is to have students come in with with as low as possible cost to start their business. Working professionals who want to pursue their careers and open their own business and open, go into an innovative, build an innovative product. Same thing. So we saw under our business park is to provide a subsidized a cost to a space, license, visa, and that community of people. So 2 3 founders to work together and for them to develop. So that's why N5 was there and created to support this sector in particular. So yes, we see a lot of universities right now building innovation centers. We see a government sector being proactive as well. But for us, it actually served our personal needs when it comes to developing smaller companies, and this is why N5 is there, right? So we work with all the universities, we work with all the government entities, and Alhamdulillah today, um, uh, uh, before yesterday, we had the announcement of our startups raising 1.4 billion in investment, and these are more. We've supported more than 500 companies coming through our incubator. So this we've seen the need. Dirham. Yes, so we've seen the appetite of a lot of entrepreneurs. In the past 18 months, we have seen 150 companies incubate at N5. The, no, this is the investment that I talked about is the amount raised by our startups in our portfolio. Yes, raised, yes. So we've supported them even more when it comes to subsidize these services because N5 and Dubai Internet City is a license provider and a space as well. So all this we clump these support into one to support them, and this is how they flourish.
Will lead me to another question, but let's first ask Arab Academy. You said in your introduction that you are specific in a specific tracks. Can you please elaborate more? What is the tracks you are focusing on, and what is the relation between the Arab Academy and these specific tracks?
Okay. The most important sector we are focusing on is supply chain, which is based on our area of expertise, as we are the first university in the MENA region that has a college in supply chain and logistics and international transport. From here, we can do a very good connection between the industry because we have graduates who are working in the big companies of supply chain, and the students and the academia. So we have that triangle of support that can support our students and our startups focusing on the supply chain area. The second one is the tourism incubator, as we have a college in Egyptology and tourism in Aswan campus. And also we have a very good connection and a partnership with the Ministry of Tourism. From here, we're focusing on the tourism sector, where we also have the industry in tourism through the ministry and the academia through the college. And the third one is the agribusiness incubator. And finally, we're now initiating a new incubator here in Sharjah in the maritime sector. We started working on it, depending on our branch here in Sharjah and our maritime college and the area of expertise and the ecosystem of companies working
So
here.
the maritime will be in Sharjah, in United
Inshallah,
Arab
we will
Emirates.
launch it here in Sharjah.
Okay.
Inshallah.
For Tunisia, I know that you are focusing on mechatronics and also textile. Mechatronics and textile.
No. In Tunisia, we have three sectors: the agri-food, textile, and the mechatronic. And this is a strategic line developed by the government, and that's why we have three technoparks specialized like that. And in the same way, they are public-private partnership. And but Innovation City is specialized in mechatronic, and this sector is the first sector in Tunisia who is exporting, and the automotive sector is the first sector in Africa for product for the Europe. So it's an important sector that we have to be to change. Incubator and accelerator in our technopark, because we want to transform the production into development and production, and even to develop more and more intellectual properties from the especially from the high schools, from the research that developed in our high schools, and to valorize these properties and this new research to be not fundamental research, but practical research and operational research.
So, based on this information, I can understand now each incubator select a specific track based on their expertise, their access to industry, to government. This is why Arab Academy are focusing on supply chain and logistics. And for Tunisia, you are focusing on the mechatronics, and I think based on the access to the market and the relation of the industries who are interested to work in this area. So for Binya in Egypt, for Ibni in Egypt, yes. What is the focusing of your incubator, and what is specific service that you are providing to the companies in your incubator?
Okay. In Ebni, I believe we consider to be the first incubator in Egypt to focus on hardware IoT projects. And we have developed our labs, electronic labs and fab labs, so startups can able to test and to create their projects or products. Also, we provide all the needed services like mentorship, consultation, and trainings, and so on. Recently, in 3 of our locations, actually, we have 4 locations covering all the Egyptian regions. Um, uh, and all these locations are providing IoT support or accept IoT hardware startups. But recently, in 3 locations, we started to accept automotive or focus on automotive industry with a partnership with Siemens. They are providing all technical trainings and so on, and consultation, technical consultation, and we provide all the business.
Many startups and many entrepreneurs, the most question I receive from them, the main challenge that we are facing is the funding. We are looking to investment. We are looking to investor. This is right. That's right. But based on what I hear from these incubators, no one of you said they are. no one said you are investing money in the company, but you are providing services. And for N5, you announced that your company raised a big amount of money up to 1 billion dirham. From your insights and experience with the startups and entrepreneurs, what is the most valuable benefits these these startups get from the incubator? Is it really an investment? Uh, the challenge for the startups, as they thought, is the investment. So, is this a problem, or there is another thing that you can provide more valuable than investment?
Thank you, and very good question. Honestly speaking, from coming from experience, me myself being an entrepreneur and also supporting hundreds of entrepreneurs, the problem is not investment. The investment is there, and investors are actually on a hunt to find good startups. But the issue is that um, most of the time, the startups that don't get invested in is either the startup is not ready or good enough to be invested, or the investor is not into that business. So, for example, I'm running an IoT startup. Um, Honestly speaking, even the Minister of Entrepreneurship, Dr. Ahmed Bilhol, said that when we looked at UAE and we coming to solve the problems of entrepreneurship, the main problem was not investment. The problem was regulations, and this is why they know that this sector or this investment will take it will come organically. The investors, if there is a good idea to be invested in, the investors will invest. And this is what we've seen. From our perspective, we support the startup journey from the beginning until the end. But we support the startups from the day they walk in with license, with all the services that they need until they reach the investors. We also introduce them to investors. We also enable businesses as market access. So everything that they need, because we know that if the startup is really good, the investors will come hunting for them. So the problem is not investment. There are bigger problems than, let's say, the banking issue, the regulations that we work with the government in order for us to fix. But for me, investment, I've spoken to so many investors come to us and we partner with them that we're opening an investor hub next to us because we have so many investors are interested to stay as close as possible to the investors. Today, I'm speaking to investors who want to invest in an idea and a pre-seed if it's really good enough.
So, the short answer for the entrepreneurs and for startups, investment is not the problem. And from the experience of the incubator of Arab Academy of Science and Technology, you told us the main focus of the incubator is the supply chain and logistics. Uh, uh, Maybe you also provide different services for startups, for students. So what kind of services you are providing to them to make them ready for investment? As I understand now, incubators, accelerators are not the right place to get the investment, but they are the right place to help you to get the investment. So what kind of services you are providing to help startups to be ready to raise the investment?
Okay, first, I want to second the opinion of Mr. Saeed that the investment is not the problem. We as incubators, we give financial support up to 200,000 pounds, which is good for a startup to start the journey of growth. Just to start the journey of growth. We have a lot of venture capitalists and angel investors. And actually, in Egypt, the investors are looking for good startups to invest in. The idea is the investment readiness program that the incubators are working on. to make the startups graduated from incubators really ready for investment. Here's the problem, that the investment readiness program is not always up to the standards of investors. For now in Egypt, we're trying to do a communities, incubator investors supporting each other to be able to do a very good program supporting the startups so they can be ready the way the investors think. Um, which we support startups. We have a different program. Yani we're working on trainings and knowledge transfer, but yet we're supporting. We have our own tool which do an assessment for the startup, especially to focus on growth. What's what's their problem for growth? They do an investment, an analysis and assessment for the startups on a 360 level, so we can spot their problems, and we connect them with consultants where the incubator pay for, so they can help them solve these investment readiness program. So after finishing this phase, they will be enrolled in an investment readiness program. So they'll be ready for investment by our
For Mr. Hisham. So your incubator is providing support and services to help startups to be ready to grow. So what kind of services that you providing for your startups and your ideas that incubated inside the innovation center?
Uh, first of all, it's the hosting, so they are in the incubator and they have their office and etc. But it's the beginning, and then we have some program for BP, program for technology, to develop the technology and to develop and to prepare the prototype, and third program is go to market. So for opening the market, national market and international market. So we follow the startups from the idea to the product with the technological product, from the product to have the first implementation in one company, and then to go to market. So this is all the track. But if you before I said that we have three tracks, and the third one is the fundraising. So we follow the startups to have the funds. But if we discuss about fund, the fund is for the startups, but for the sustainability of the incubator, we need to have a fund too. Preparing a seed fund to, as she said, for the beginning of the startups, we prepare a seed fund to invest in the startup from the idea and to follow them after, to have a minimum sustainability of the incubator and the accelerator in our technopark.
Engineer Ashraf, as I know, Ittisal is one of the biggest NGOs in Egypt that support the ICT sector. And when you present the IBNI incubator, you told us that you are focusing on the IoT industry, electronic industry, and also automotive industry. So what is the added value that IBNI incubator provide to potential startups based on the relation and the access to the businesses? Because Ittisal is an NGO established to support industry, and the members of the Ittisal are from business.
Yes, correct. When you asked me about the services we provide to our incubatees, actually I didn't mention that we provide seed fund up to $15,000, it's 15,000 US dollars, but this is because I don't think that it's the most valuable service we provide to our incubated startups. I believe the most valuable is the network we provide to different organizations and different entities, governmental sector and private sector, inside Egypt and outside Egypt. We provide the service of soft landing in China and in Dubai here. We provide them with different services, as I said, like trainings and mentorship. All these, I believe, we provide a shield over the startup so they can focus and try to finish our their products. Alhamdulillah, like 40% of our startups by the end of the program can get investment, 40%. And I believe this is a very good number normally, because normally after the incubation, like 60 to 70% of the startups fail. Okay, but 40% of our startup can get investment, and I believe this is very good.
Uh, in the title of the session, we said that the role of incubators, accelerators, and innovation hub in supporting the industry, academia, government cooperation. Uh, I need to know what is exactly done by each incubator or accelerator with us here to activate this role. Uh, uh, your responsibility is to support startups, to help them to be ready for investment and to grow for the next phase. So, what is your activities you are doing with government, with academia, with industry to enable these startups to be successful?
Yeah, so I think um, as N5 and Innovation Center, we as a hub, we're looking at different aspects. When it comes to government, we speak to the ministry, to we speak to government entities in order for us to strengthen the collaboration and improve the journey of startups. We always have a problem, let's say, with the banking. We have problems with other regulations when it comes to fintech. So we give our contribution by being on the table to discuss and speak on behalf of startups. When it comes to education, it's the same thing. Today, universities have started applying the entrepreneurship curriculum into the universities. We're still um, get a number of students who still lack that education because it's still not it's still fragmented when it comes to the education, and every university is teaching differently methods. So when entrepreneurs come to us, either he's a student, either he's a working professional, they all need to unify their knowledge when it comes to entrepreneurship. So we teach them what we see and from experience of successful entrepreneurs, and put curriculum together in order for us to unify the knowledge, right? Because you might be a working professional who's done very well in your corporate job, but when it comes to entrepreneurship, it's a different ball game. And this is why we bring all these benefiting from the experience of the professionals, benefiting from the students, and then we bring all this together. So our role is across the board. We see where the journey of entrepreneurs are, slacking somewhere. We try to improve it, and this is why we across the board. And honestly speaking, when it comes to N5, we are one of the first incubators in Dubai, and the model was to look at what are the problems that we have internally. It's not about who's doing what government is doing, why this person is no. We said that we want to build the next businesses to come and be born from Dubai. So we brought all these big companies like Cisco, Microsoft, and so on to come and settle in Dubai, but how we can promote the next generation of entrepreneurs to come in. And this is why we came in. And this is when you come to M5 Innovation Center, we're not just an incubation center. We also have those facilities to support them. So if you're talking about a prototyping lab, a full-fledged prototyping lab we have in our facility. For the media startups, we have all the studios available for them to start as low as possible to go into business. And this is our contribution.
Comes back to Arab Academy. You are in the academia, so you have the good connection with academia. So what are the other type of connections with industry and government, especially as I know from my experience in the logistics and transportation, legal issues and approvals and government issues is a big challenge for all startups who can work in this area. So how you can help and support your startups, especially with your relation with government and industry.
Okay, the Arab Academy is the educational arm of the Arab League, and being a 50 years old university gave us an edge in partnership. Also, our president believes so much in partnership with different sectors, whether the industry, the government, the different regional organizations. But we have a very, very good connections over the Arab Academy in general, which we can support our startups using our own connections and our own supporting system. Also, regarding the point of regulations, we're very, very, alhamdulillah, well connected with the government. So we have the space to raise issues and being discussed regarding the problems startups are facing. And as Dr. Wael said 2 days ago, that we had a roundtable discussion for tourism startups where they raised their issues and their problems regarding regulations and so on, which will taken care of by the government, and hopefully soon we can support them by a um, new rules that support startups more regarding this issues. ف يعني the academy is managed in a different way, where our president is supporting with all his connections, all the academy's connections in each sector. For the entrepreneurship sector is very took all the benefits from the different partnerships on the industry level, on the governmental level, on the business and academia level of the academy in the different regions.
So for the Innovation City in Tunisia, you are backed by government, and as you told us, public-private partnership. So there is some other partners not on the table, and they are the academy partner. What you are doing to get the academy and involve them with your incubator?
The first thing is that we are working with the academy on the new program for the students to prepare them for the new, for the future. So the startups are the future, and we work with the academy to prepare that, and they are one of our big partner in this work. The second one is for the government to attract investors in Tunisia, especially international investors, to implement their developing centers. You know, you have a big problem in Tunisia, which is the unemployment of the high level talent. So to involve companies to implement their developing center is an important thing for the government to create employees and to develop that. And when we attract these multinational sectors and multinational companies as Cisco, as Microsoft, and which is near the high school, the exchange between the companies and the high school is very important, and they create value for the students especially. And the third operation is for the valorization of the work of research. And this is very important because actually all the research are written and sticked. But we make some programs to develop this research and to valorize them and to solve them, or to develop startups for this type of research and to develop the product. So it's a different level for the operation. And the presence of the private sector help us because we are managing as a private and not as a government company. Make a lot of flexibility, exactly.
Engineering Ashraf, I don't think you have a problem with the business, or because actually most of the founders of Ittisal are in the business. But do you have any challenges in cooperating with government, with academia, and what is your roles to accelerate this?
Okay, in Ittisal, we have the philosophy to get all stakeholders all together to have things done. So normally, we are engaging all stakeholders. Okay, so We have an MOUs with different universities and research centers in universities to provide all the technical support and to try to engage the researchers with the startups, okay, to develop them and help them in developing the product. This is the first one. And the second, we have a very good connections, and actually we are running different programs with sponsored by the governmental bodies like Scientific Research, Academy of Scientific Research, and also ITIDA. It's a governmental body which is developing the ICT from the ICT in the industry from the governmental side. Also, we are running different or engaging different developing organizations like the EU. We have different programs running sponsored by the EU also. Um, Really, we don't have any problem currently to engage different stakeholders, but I believe we need um, um, to engage the private sector more than because the private sector don't look at the entrepreneurship as an important mission to have support startups and so on. We need to engage them more in the process of developing the startups and during the incubation program.
Thank you for all the insights. We hear about the role of incubation, acceleration, and innovation hub in supporting entrepreneurship and supporting the partnership between government, industry, and academia. We can have two questions from the audience. So, if you please, if anyone interested, yes, you can. Yeah, we can. I know, but you can make it in one and to give the opportunity for others. Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, you mentioned that investment not a problem, and the requirement to get an investment is to have a good startup. So, what is the definition of a good startup from your perspective? And what if a startup already came through a long journey and already have traction, integrated team, and a robust product with
Yes.
with excellent financial statements?
Yeah, so I think if you can prove the numbers, then you should not have a problem, unless the investor is focusing on a specific sector. So most of the time, I introduce our startups to investors, and they say that the business is good, the financial look good, but I'm not comfortable investing in this sector. So most of the time, you will feel. So my advice to you is that if you really have it, and you really have the numbers right, everything is right, then go outside and find investors who will invest. So let's say when it comes to medical tech, most of the time you'll not find investors in this region previously. Maybe now you will find more. Then go outside and go to other countries, let's say US, people who really understand that. I had a hardware startup and I struggled for 5 years to raise funds, right? So many investors I met, they said that we're not comfortable. We only invest in software. We do this is. So most of the time that you will not find it, then you go to other markets, right? So sometimes, yes, things look good, but they're just not comfortable. And that's most of the time.
What about if the startup already targeting other countries that don't look incubation or accelerated nothing?
Can you repeat again?
If the startup targeting a market which is you are not operating in as an incubator.
Then I would recommend that you look for investors in that region as well, right? So you're targeting, let's say, Egypt, right? You look for investors there because most of the time the investors or the family businesses who want to invest, they will find opportunities there because first they will help you as a launch pad for you to jump into their country, and that's most of the time. Most of
I will take here and after. Doctora.
actually anyone from the panel can answer me this. But Dr. Saeed, actually you mentioned something regarding having the innovation hub next to the investor hub. Okay, and actually we faced a little problem. I'm from Oman, first of all, from Utah's University of Technology and Applied Science. Can yes. Okay. So we actually trying to encourage the student to participate in the innovation hubs that we have across Oman and to participate especially in the technology areas. But we're facing main problem with the cybersecurity areas in particular. Although we are having many university graduating students in this area, but when we push a group of students, some of them from other projects in ITs or different fields in ITs, what is happening is really the cybersecurity groups normally will be pushed to the side, even though they have a big project. Okay, and we believe that they really have a chance, but then investors don't really look into them. Not like when we have a student working on IoT or other groups who are working on, for example, developing a sort of mobile application that can provide a certain service. But cybersecurity groups, in particular projects, they are not having that much of attention from investors. How can we bridge that gap? If anyone can give me an answer to that.
I would say that same thing, like what I answered, is that we'll need to look for investors who are comfortable in that space, and also the business itself needs to justify. So I previously, when we used to struggle to find pre-seed investors, I used to encourage these startups to build some traction, make some money, because here you will turn the investors to be able to look at your business and invest in it. So most of the time, because we used to struggle a lot to get investment when it comes to pre-seed, so I said, listen, guys, make some money and then show the numbers, and it will help as well. So if you go to an investor and the numbers are actually answered, and you have people actually have, and you just need to grow, then it's easier to raise investment. Okay, but for me, I struggled because I used to do hardware when the whole incubator was doing software. So it was a struggle for me to get investors. But then at a later stage, they started to understand that, okay, this guy has like 50 customers who are interested to see this project come to life, right? So I have a list of people who are interested. So I started to go to trade shows to attract people, take a list, and then show it to the investors and say, listen, I have X amount of people who are interested in this project, so I need investment. So you have to try these, different ways in order for you to attract them.
If I understand right, you're a supporting organization that supports startups and you have challenges with the investors, right? What actually happened in Egypt is that the investors community and ecosystem was not that much mature and ready to support in startups, and it took some time for them to make a communities that are attracted to certain sectors. So I think you as an organization has to sit on a table with the investors and start um, um, investigate their challenges, why they're not investing in that such sector, and what are their fears and challenges, and start to bridge this gap. Maybe it will take some time because you will take the initiative, but you need to understand their challenges. Maybe they have challenges regarding the technical issues in general. They're not into this technology, but they need a third party that will ensure them that this startup on the technical level is going well, and they start to be convinced to invest. We need, I think, you need to do a kind of a round table to hear from them their challenges, so you can work on bridging this gap, so they are comfortable with investing in such startups.
I would like to add one advice. Okay, uh, sometimes getting an investor on board is like getting a new customer. Okay, you have to teach them about a new services or a new product. Okay, you're talking about cybersecurity. Um, you can think like to have a special incubation round just for cybersecurity. Okay, and during the demo day, you can invite huge number of investors, so you can teach them or you can show them the value you are getting from cybersecurity startups and the value of the products they are, developing. I believe this will help you.
Okay. Thank you. We have a third question. We will take it after the panel with the audience because we have a signing ceremony now. Thank you for all attendees, and it is a pleasure having you and have the speaker, and we will take the question. Thank you very much. Thank you.